Welcome to all in the new lecture that is on finite groups. In the last lecture, we discussed about the groups, abelian groups, and give some examples of the infinite groups. So here in this lecture, we will discuss about the finite groups and the examples how to show that the finite groups are the groups and the abelian groups. So finite groups, what are the finite groups? In which we have the finite number of elements, so that is the finite groups. So let's go it. So here we have the example is that suppose G is equal to 1 minus 1, means in the group G we have the two elements only 1 and minus 1. We have to show that this is an abelian group under multiplication. So under multiplication we have to show that this is a abelian group. So you know that how to show that any set is a abelian group. So here you have to do prove some properties. First one is closure property, associative property, identity, inverse, and so that is a group. If it has one more property, that is a commutative property, so if it is hold that commutative property, so that is called the abelian group. So same thing we do here. First we make a composition table here, because here we have the finite number of elements. So see here how to compose our table. So this is the with respect to multiplication. So here we show this multiplication and our elements are 1 minus 1. So we write it in the like a column 1 minus 1 and the rows 1 minus 1 and the elements. So in the composite table elements, we have to write it, because our 1 multiply 1 it become 1, 1 multiply minus 1 it become minus 1. Second one is minus 1 element we have, so minus 1 multiply 1, that is minus 1, minus 1 multiply minus 1, that is 1. So this is our the composite table. So you have to make the composite table is like that. You have to write the elements of the set 1 minus 1 up to here and 1 minus 1 up to here. So now make the composition table. So here you have given the under multiplication, so you have to multiplication. If it is given that the addition, so you have to do the addition here. So now first property R is closure property. So what is the closure property? So if you have the composition table, so you how to show that this hold the closure property. So you see here, if you have a composite table, so you can see that if all elements of the sets are in your composite table, so you can the entries are the composite table, so you can see that yeah, this is a hold the closure property. So you can see our elements are 1 minus 1 and we can see that in our composition table we have 1 and minus 1 both are here. So you can see that all entries of the composition table are the elements of the given set. So we can say that this set G is a closed under multiplication, right? So clear how to show that the closure property. Okay, so now second one is associativity. So we know that because these are the real numbers, so elements of G are real number, and we know that the multiplication of real numbers is associative, right? Always the real number has the in the case in the under the multiplication, this is always hold the associativity property. Third one is identity. So what is the identity here? I told you that in the multiplication case your identity is 1. So you can see here, your identity of this is 1 and 1 is also belongs to Z. So 1 is the identity uh, of this set. So you can check here how to can you check what is the property of identity, that if you multiply any number with identity then you will get the same number. So if you take suppose 1, because you have only two elements are here, so when you take 1 and 1, when you multiply this 1 with your identity is 1, means when you multiply this 1 by 1, so you will get 1. When you multiply this minus 1, when you multiply this minus 1 with 1, so you will get minus 1. So it shows that your identity is 1 here. Clear? Okay, now come to the point inverse. So how to show that the inverse of each element? Here you have the two elements. What is the inverse of 1 and what is the inverse of -1? So now you know that what is the identity and how to show that the inverse means two elements are inverse to each other if it multiplication is equal to identity. Means a into b is equal to 1 here. So you can see here 1, where you can check from the table that when we have the one first element is 1, when we see that 1 is when we multiply by 1, so we will get the 1, that is the identity. So it means that 1 is the inverse of 1. And in the case of -1, when we get the 1 identity, yeah, in this case means here we have when we multiply -1 by -1, so we get the identity. It means that the inverse of -1 is -1. Clear how to find the inverse of each element of the given set? Okay, so now we hold these four properties, so we can say that our this set G is a group under the multiplication. Now for the abelian group, we have one more property. If it hold that property, so we can say that yeah, this is, G is a abelian group, that is commutativity. So commutativity, how can we check this is a hold the commutative property? So you can see here all rows and the columns of the table are identical, means first row 1 minus 1 and first column 1 minus 1, second row -1 1 and second column -1 1. So if your corresponding rows and columns are of the table are identical, so you can say that yeah, this is a hold the commutative property. So we can say here in the multiplication is a commutative. So it is an abelian group in under the multiplication. Clear? Okay, so let's do some other examples, then you will clear it. If our G set is the elements are 1 omega omega square, is then we have to show that this is an abelian group under multiplication. Where what is this omega? These omega omega square, these are the cube roots of unity. And you know that what is the property of cube roots of unity? In cube roots of unity, it means that your omega cube value is 1. So now first we make our the composition table. So our elements are 1 omega omega square, and with respect to multiplication we have to show it. And here again we have to write 1 omega omega square. So when we write the first row, means 1 multiply 1, so it become 1 omega omega 1 omega square omega square. Now second one, when we multiply omega with all these, omega 1 multiply 1 omega omega multiply omega, this is omega square. Now omega multiply omega square, so it become omega cube, and we know that in the cube root of unity omega cube is equal to 1, so we write here 1. Now omega square, when we multiply omega square by 1, so it become omega square. When we multiply omega square into omega, so it become omega cube, and omega cube is equal to 1 here. Now omega square multiply omega square, so it become omega raised to the power 4. And what is the value of this in terms of omega omega square? So omega 4 you can write is omega 3 omega cube multiply omega. So omega cube is 1, so remaining is omega. So like that we have this is the composition table with respect to multiplication. Now check the properties. First one is closure property. So what we see for the hold the closure property, that we see that all elements which we have in the set, these are in our the composite table. So we can see that our elements are 1 omega omega square. So here these 1 omega omega square, we have all these elements in our the composition table. So we can say that yes, this hold the closure property under the multiplication. Okay, now second is associativity. So this is a actually omega cube root is a complex number, right? So you know that this is a complex number, and we know that in the multiplication complex number is always hold the associative property. So here also you have to write only this yeah, this is hold a complex number is hold a associative property. So this is a associative. Now Third one is identity. So what is the identity here? In multiplication, I told you that 1 is the identity element, and you can check here. And 1 is also belongs to G here. So you can check that 1 is identity or not. So when you multiply 1 by 1, so yeah, you will get 1. When you multiply 1 and with your identity, so omega multiply 1, you get omega. Omega square multiply 1, you get omega square. It means that 1 is the identity of this set. Next one is inverse. So in the composite table you can see that what is the inverse of each element here. What is the inverse of 1, omega and omega square. So you can check it if your that numbers are multiply with the identity. Sorry, when you multiply these numbers, which numbers you multiply these numbers, then you will get the identity. So that is the inverse of that number. So come to the first point, 1. So see here in this table 1 is here, means when we multiply 1 by 1, so we will get the 1. It means that 1 is the inverse of 1. Second one, omega. Omega, when we get the 1 here, 1 here. It means that when we multiply omega by omega square, so we will get 1 identity. It means that omega inverse is omega square. What is the inverse of omega? Omega square. And in the third row, you can see that one identity is here. It means that when we multiply omega square by omega, so we will get the identity. It means that the omega square inverse is omega. So right here 1 inverse is 1, omega inverse is omega square, and omega square inverse is omega. Clear? Okay. So now if we have these hold all these 4 properties of this set, so we can say that yes, this set is a group. Now for the abelian group, we have to show that one more property, that is commutativity. So you can check commutativity that our first row 1 omega omega square, and first column is 1 omega omega square. Second row omega omega square 1, and second column omega omega square 1. Third row omega square 1 omega, and column omega square 1 omega. So we can see that each row and the columns, corresponding columns are of the table are identical. So we can say that this hold the commutative property. So if hold these all these properties, so our G is the abelian group under the multiplication. Clear how to show it for the finite group? In finite group, if you have the finite group, so for this first you have to make the composite table, and from the composite table you have to show all these properties. Okay, so let's do some more examples here. If your set is G, are the elements are 1 minus 1 iota minus iota. So we have to show that this is an abelian group under multiplication. So now first we make out the table. Elements are 1 minus 1 iota minus iota. So first when we multiply 1 by 1, when we get 1, 1 minus 1 we get minus 1. So now like that we make our the table. You can make the table. Now first property, closure property. So for the closure property, we have to see that our all elements, yeah, 1 minus 1 iota and minus iota will be there in our the composite table. So we can say that yes, this hold the closure property. Associativity, because these are the complex numbers in our set, and we know that our composite numbers are always hold the associative property. So this is the associativity. Now identity, in the multiplication our identity it will be 1, and 1 is also belongs to G, so we can say that 1 is the identity element. And you can check also here, when you multiply 1 by 1, so you will get 1. When you multiply 1 minus 1 by 1, so minus 1. I multiply 1, I, and minus iota multiply 1, so minus iota. It means that 1 is the identity of the set here. Now inverse. So from the composite table you can see that where you will get the identity. First one is here. It means that when you multiply 1 by 1, so you will get the identity. It means that 1 inverse is 1. Now second one, you will get 1 here, means when you multiply minus 1 by minus 1, so you will get the identity. It means that the inverse of minus 1 is minus 1. Now here see 1 is here. It means that when you multiply by I iota minus with the minus iota, so you will get 1. It means that your inverse of iota is minus iota. Now here in the last row you can see that your 1 is here, identity is here. It means that minus iota, when you multiply by minus iota with iota, so you will get the identity. It means that the minus iota inverse is iota. So here 1 inverse is 1, minus 1 inverse is minus 1, iota inverse is minus iota, and minus iota inverse is iota. Clear how to find the inverse? Now hold all these four properties, it means that our G is a group. Now to show the abelian group, we have to show that this is hold the commutativity. So for the commutativity, you have to check that your corresponding rows and columns are identical or not. So you can see here, first row is 1 minus 1 iota minus iota, first column is same 1 minus 1 iota minus iota. Second row is minus 1 1 minus iota iota, and second column minus 1 1 minus iota iota, and third row is corresponding to third column, fourth row is corresponding to elements of the fourth column. So we say that yeah, this is hold the commutative property. It means that our G is an abelian group under the multiplication. Clear? Okay. So now one more thing is here in your to find the abelian group of the finite sets, that the modulo system. So what is the modulo system? First we have the two types of modulo system, addition modulo and the multiplication modulo. So now first we have addition modulo, we represent it by m. So addition plus m. So how to show this? So you see here, let m is a positive integer. For any two integer positive integers a and b, a plus b, and this shows the addition modulo. A plus b is equal to a plus b when if a plus b is less than m, and our a plus b is equal to r when a plus b is greater than equal to m. What is r? R actually here is the remainder obtained by dividing a plus b with m. Okay, so means when we make the table, so we add these two numbers. So our finding number is a plus b if our a plus b is less than m, and if our a plus b is greater than m, equal to m. So then we write here a plus b is equal to r, and r means r is the remainder obtained when we dividing a plus b with m. So when we do the example, so you have to clear it. Now second one is multiplication modulo. Here we denote it by p. So this is notation of the multiplication modulo. So if we have the two positive integers a and b, so our value of a multiply b is equal to ab if our ab is less than p, and if our ab is greater than equal to p, so we have to write it r, where r is the remainder obtained by dividing ab by ab with p. Right? Okay, so now you see that wow, what has happened. So now, but when you do the examples, you have to clear it. Suppose like an example we can see here, if we have suppose 3 multiply 4, and this is the, what is the meaning of this? This is the multiplication modulo 5. So in the multiplication modulo 5, what is the value of 3 multiply 4? 3 multiply 4, actually we have 3 4 12, right? But 12 here, and we can see here 12 is greater than equal to p. P's are 5. So 12 is greater than equal to 5. So what we write here with this multiplication, we have to write the remainder. Means when we divide this by p, means when we divide our 12 by 5, so our remainder remaining is 2. So it means that the multiplication of this under the multiplication modulo 5 is 2. Now when we have to multiply 5 and 4 under the multiplication modulo 5, so what will we have? 5 4 20, but 20 is greater than equal to 5. So we have to take here the after dividing the remainder term. So when you divide 20 by 5, so you will get 5. So remainder remaining will be 0. So it means that the multiplication is equal to 0 here. Now 2 multiplied 2, this is our 4, and 4 is less than 5. So just we write only the multiplication of these numbers, that is 4. Like that you have to make the table. So you can see the examples here. Suppose our first example where we have the G are the elements are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have to show that this is a group with respect to addition modulo 6. So now addition modulo 6, here we have to show that first we make the table, composite table here. So these are the elements 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the addition modulo 6. So here we have to add, right? So now check here. First when we are the first number is 0. So when we add 0 plus 0 it becomes 0. 0 plus 1 1. 0 plus 2 2. 0 plus 3 3. 0 plus 4 4. 0 plus 5 5, because all these numbers addition is less than 6. Okay. Now next one. 1. When we add 1 in each number, so 1 plus 0 1. 1 plus 1 2. 1 plus 2 3. 1 plus 3 4. 1 plus 4 5. 1 plus 5 6. But 6 is not less than 6, right? 6 is greater than equal to 6. 6 is equal to 6. So in this case we have to also write the remainder terms in the addition of this. So when we divide 6 by 6, so we will get the remainder is 0. So we write here the 0. Now second one, 2 plus 0 2, 2 plus 1 3, 2 plus 2 4, 2 plus 3 5. But when you see here 2 plus 4 6, but 6 is equal to 6. So here we not write 6, we have to write the remainder term. So when we divide 6 by 6, so you will get the remainder is 0. So you have to write here 0. Now 2 plus 5 7, but 7 is greater than 6. So you have to divide first 6 7 with 6. So you get the remainder is 1. So you have to write here 1. So like that you have to make your table, composite table. Now check the properties. First property R is closure property. So how to show that this hold the closure property? So you see here all the entries of this composite table are the elements 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these elements of the set are the entries of this. So yes, it hold the closure property. Now next one is the associativity. So for the associativity you can check here our associative property is that if we take suppose any three numbers, so we take here suppose three numbers are 2 3 and 4. So 2 plus 3, first we add 2 plus 3, then we add 4. So when we add 2 plus 3 in the addition modulo 6, 2 plus 3 is 5, plus now again we use the addition modulo for 4. So this is 5 plus 4, that is 9. But 9 is greater than 6. So we have to first divide 9 by 6. So 6, when we divide 9 with 6, so our remainder term is 3. So it means that this addition is 3. Now we have to check that first we add 3 and 4 for the associative property. So when we add 3 4, so it becomes 3 4 7, but remainder term is 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So now you see that your left hand side is equal to right hand side. It means that it holds the associative property. Next one is identity. So how to check here the identity? You can see here the first row of the table coincides with the top row. You can see in your table your first row is coincide with the top row. So the elements headings that row means that 0 is the identity element. So in addition always your identity is 0, and you can verify it by that your first row is same as your the top row. So your 0 is your identity. Now the inverse. So inverse, like earlier you check your composite table in your from your composite table that you know that now 0 is the identity when you add all these elements of the set with 0, sorry, with other element, and you will get the identity. So you can say that your that element is the inverse of that. So when you check it 0 plus 0 you will get 0. It means that 0 is the inverse of 0. when you add 1 plus 5, so 1 plus 5 it is 6, but is addition because 6 is equal to 6, so we have to take the remainder term, that is 0. It means that when we add 1 plus 5, so we'll get the identity. It means that 1 is the inverse of 5. Now 2 plus 4, we get the 6, means identity, so it means that 2 is the inverse is 4. 3 plus 3, it is 6, it means that 3 is the inverse of 3. 4 plus 2, it will give, again you have the identity, it means that 4 inverse is 2. 5 plus 1, 6, it again give the identity, it means that 5 inverse is 1. Clear? Now if hold these all properties, so we say that our G is a group. Now for the abelian group, check that this hold the commutative property. So for the commutative property, you have to check that your each row, all corresponding rows and columns of the table are identical. So it holds the commutative property, and it will hold the commutative property. So your G here under the addition modulo 6, this is an abelian group. Clear? Now one take the multiplication modulo. So here our elements of the sets are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have to show that this is a group under the multiplication modulo 7. Now make the table here, same here. You have to multiply 1 when all elements, so you will get the same elements. When you multiply 2, 2 multiply 1, 2, 2 multiply 2, 4, 2 multiply 3, 7, 6, and 2 multiply 4, you will get the 8. But 8 is greater than 7. So you have to divide it and take the remainder term. So when you divide 8 with 7, so your remainder term will be 1. So you have to write here 1. It means that 2 plus 4 your will be 1. Same here, 2 plus 5 is, 2 multiply 5 is 10. So, and 10 is greater than 7. So, you have to divide 10 by 7. So, your remainder term will be 3. So, 2 plus 5, 2 multiply 5, it will be 3. 2 multiply 6, remainder term will be 5. So, like that you have to make your composite table. Now check the properties. First is closure property. So you see here your elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all these elements are in your composite table. So we say that yes, this hold the closure property under the multiplication modulo 7. Now second is associative property. So you check that this hold the associative property or not. First you take here three elements 2, 3 and 4. So when you multiply 2 and 3, so 2, 3 it is 6, and multiply again when 4, so it become 24, and 24 is greater than 7. So you have to divide it first by 7, so your remainder term will be 3. Now when you do is like that, first you multiply by 3 and 4, then multiply by 2, so again you will get 3. So it means that this hold the associative property. Now the identity. I told you that in the case of multiplication your identity will be 1. So you can check this also, that your first row of the table is same is like the top row. So means the all elements which is given in the your set. So it means we can say that 1 is the identity here. Now the inverse. Find inverse. You can check here. When you multiply 1 by 1, so you will get the identity. It means that the inverse of 1 is 1. 2 multiply 4. So 2 multiply 4, when you will multiply this, so you will get the 8. Means when you divide it by 7 and remainder term take, so it will get the 1. So it means that when you multiply 2 by 4, so your remainder term will be 1. So it means the identity. So we can say that the inverse of 2 is 4. Same, the inverse of 3 is 5. Inverse of 4 is 2. Inverse of 5 is 5. And inverse of 6 is 6. You can check it. Okay. So now hold all these properties. So it means that our G is a group under the multiplication modulus 7. If it holds the commutative property, so you check that you can, when you see your table, you can see that the corresponding rows and columns of the table are identical. It means that this hold the commutative property. So we can say that our G set under the multiplication modulo 7, it is an abelian group. Clear how to show it? and in the addition modulo and in the multiplication modulo, how can you show that your given set is abelian group or not. So thank you. Today's lecture is completed now.